Well, hey there, you're on the internet, I have some free time, and welcome to the Triple N Network, where all you newbie nib nerds can find all the news you'll need. Let's look at an ink today, shall we? Now, today's ink is a little problematic. It's DeAtramentis Pigeon Blue, which, as you might be able to see in the vial, I've used nearly all of. And the two pens I used were this Nemosine Singularity with a 0.6 stub. I doubt that'll come through, but you'll have to trust me. And this Pilot Vanishing Point with, oh yeah, I forgot, it doesn't say on the nib. It's a broad nib. Again, you'll have to trust me. And something I've mentioned in one or two of my previous videos is I've noticed that DeAtramentis has this quality where its performance seems to degrade the longer it's been out of its vessel, which was seen here because I actually really enjoyed this ink and I had it in the VP for a while before I started doing the test, and it didn't perform that well, which you'll see. So let's check out the chromatography. As you can see, there's some potential for at least a bit of water resistance. There's this slate gray color, and then it goes up into sort of like almost like a slatey teal. And then very light blue at the edges, and then a bit of darker blue at the middle. So let's check out the paper test. Top down in density, Clairefontaine 90 grams per square meter. Now, when I started this, I was going to use the Vanishing Point on all the nice papers and the Singularity on all the cheap papers. But the Vanishing Point was having so much trouble that I decided to try writing with the Singularity here as well. As you might be able to see, there's this haziness, this like woolliness that almost starts to look like it's starting to feather and starting to spread. I mean, I actually really like the color and the shading is nice, but it was strange. So yeah, it took 18 seconds to dry in the broad. I had bleed in spots. Yeah, as I said, may do better in a smaller, drier nib because this Nemosine is a pretty fine stub and it's pretty dry. So, yeah, it was just really odd behavior. What's there is actually pretty there and pretty dark, even for the stub. So that was impressive. But as you can see, in a couple places with the Vanishing Point, it started to come through. And this is 90 gram paper, so... Next is Rhodia, 80 grams per square meter, where I still really like the color and I really like the shading in both actually, but yeah, it was weird. There wasn't much difference in dry time, and again, there was near bleed. It never quite made it to the other side, but yeah, there's a little bit of feathering with the Vanishing Point, which was so odd. And yeah, I didn't feel like this was an ideal combination, which was weird because for the first couple days, you know, I'd been like doodling around on Rhodia with the VP and it hadn't performed quite this badly. But yeah, what's there is pretty there and it's pretty dark, so that's nice. And I mean, it nearly came through in a few spots. That's just really odd. Next is Tomoe River Paper, where for some reason my camera's making this look neon green for reasons that I don't understand. Anyways, not a lot of difference in dry time. Nice shading. Yeah, it's not neon green. Jesus, what is going on? Anyways, I'll see if I can fix that in post. Probably not, I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but anyways. No bleed, but there is a decent amount of echo, and the dots were taking a very long time to dry. And here in the water test, what remains is much more of a gray, but oddly it almost looks darker, which is kind of strange. Yeah. Next is 20-pound copier paper, where even the very dry writing and pretty darn small stub was having a lot of trouble. Yeah, it dried almost instantly, but yeah, it bled, it feathered, it spread. I mean, it almost doesn't look like a stub anymore. I actually think this is oddly fascinating, the colors that the water test changed into. I mean, at the center you still have a very dark, very clear, dark slate gray writing, but then you have this, yeah, in person it really is almost a neon blue, like a highlighter blue, so that's weird. But yeah, you get bleed through, a lot of echo where there isn't bleed through. Next is Mead Notebook Paper, where it took 2.5 seconds to dry. And I feel like it got sort of flat. I mean, here it really does look like, if you've ever seen like a slate, you know, like stepping stones in a garden or something, ones that have been like out in the sun for years and years and years, it kind of looks like that. Yeah, it's fuzzy looking, like I say, it's feathery. Again, the water test has this weird neon blue thing coming off of it, but it's pretty clear, it's pretty there, it doesn't feather or spread or explode too much there, but yeah, this is a very small, very dry writing nib, so and finally Moleskine paper, where it took 5 seconds to dry, and I cannot explain that. And yeah, like I said, this is a small nib, and it's a very dry writer, and it still performed very badly. Yeah, the water test was okay, but yeah, it's... Yeah, so I don't really know what to make of this. I really liked the color. I thought it was very interesting, and the first couple, you know, days it was okay in my pen, but then when I got around to writing the reviews, it kind of just, it bombed. So, I really don't know what to say about this. I mean, like, I feel like that's accurate, you know, it's a fair showing of the test, because it's not always going to be the way it is when it's fresh out of the bottle, but still, a little odd. So, for your consideration from the Triple N Network, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.